So, you want to permanently destroy your dopamine system. Maybe you realize that having ambition actually requires effort. Or maybe you just want to see how fast you can completely flatline your attention span. Either way, trying to build a future and be a functioning adult is exhausting. Let's just speedrun the destruction of your brain's reward center instead. Welcome to the Dopamine Speedrun. To pull this off efficiently, we need to understand what we are actually breaking. Dopamine is the biological drive that makes you want to do difficult things to get a long-term reward. Having a meaningful life sounds like way too much continuous effort. We want to eliminate that drive entirely. And the absolute fastest way to do that is by flooding your brain with TikTok, endless video games, adult content, and ultra-processed junk food, until real life feels like staring at a blank piece of paper. If you follow this guide, I guarantee you will lose the ability to sit alone in a room with your own thoughts for more than 45 seconds. The run begins the exact second your morning alarm goes off. A normal health enthusiast will tell you to get out of bed immediately. We are doing the exact opposite. Grab your phone before your feet even touch the floor and crank the screen brightness to maximum. You need to consume content immediately to set a baseline of anxiety for the rest of the day. Open Instagram or X right away. Your goal here is to find someone exactly your age who is significantly more successful than you. Look at a 22-year-old crypto investor who just bought a car you will never afford. Look at a fitness influencer with perfect genetics. This combination perfectly blends intense financial envy with physical inadequacy. You are ensuring that you start your morning already feeling defeated by people who don't even know you exist. Eventually, your bladder forces you to physically get out of bed. This brings us to a highly dangerous environment. Silence. Silence is your enemy in this speedrun. If you brush your teeth or take a shower in silence, you might accidentally have a creative thought or process an actual emotion. We cannot risk that level of mental clarity. You must bring your phone into the bathroom and prop it up on the sink. Put on a podcast hosted by a guy who calls himself an alpha, or a 40-minute video essay about a video game you have never even played. You are not actually listening to the information. You are just using the noise to drown out the realization that you are already running late for a job you don't care about. You are conditioning your brain to require constant stimulation just to perform basic personal hygiene. Now you have to sit at your desk and start your workday or your classes. The modern digital grind is arguably the greatest environment ever designed for destroying an attention span. Your manager or your professor wants a project done, and the natural human drive is to focus and finish the task. But delayed gratification is a scam in this category. We only accept instant returns. To completely sabotage your ability to do deep work, you will initiate the tab roulette mechanic. Open your browser and load the document you are supposed to be working on. Then immediately open roughly 20 other tabs. You need a mix of social media feeds, online stores selling things you cannot afford, and YouTube. The execution here requires precision. The exact second your actual job requires critical thinking, switch away from the work document. The moment you have to write a difficult sentence or solve a problem, click over to a distraction. You check your phone, close an app, and then immediately open the exact same app again because your thumb just does it automatically. You are actively training your neural pathways to retreat the moment they experience friction. By doing this every single day, you teach your brain that a cheap digital distraction is always available to save you from effort. By the time lunch rolls around, your energy levels will be crashing. Eating a balanced meal would provide sustained mental clarity for the afternoon. You should instead open a delivery app and order something highly processed that arrives in a greasy brown paper bag. Make sure it costs way too much money after the service fees and the delivery tip, just to add a little financial stress to the mix. The most crucial strategy during your lunch break is to entirely ignore the food while you eat it. You must eat your burger while watching a 30-minute breakdown of a YouTuber apology video involving internet drama you have no actual stake in. Outsourcing your attention to a screen successfully bypasses your body's natural fullness signals. You are essentially shoveling high-calorie garbage into the void, while your brain absorbs useless drama that you will forget by dinner time. It is the perfect marriage of insulin spikes and cheap entertainment, leaving you lethargic and entirely useless for the rest of the afternoon. After surviving the rest of the day and doing the bare minimum to not get fired, you finally clock out. You have now entered the evening rote phase. This is the make-or-break moment of the speedrun. You might feel a fleeting, desperate urge to read a book, go to the gym, or work on a side hustle to slowly build a better life. Resist that urge with everything you have. Building a good life requires intense discipline and only provides a slow return on investment over years. You want the cheap stuff. right now. It is time to execute the ultimate mechanic known as dopamine stacking. Sit down on your couch and turn on your television. Spend 25 minutes scrolling through Netflix, unable to commit to a new movie, because a 2-hour runtime feels like too much commitment. Give up and put on a sitcom you have already watched front to back at least 6 times. It serves as comforting background noise, because you already know exactly what happens. While the television plays to the room, pull out your phone to scroll through short-form vertical videos. Your brain is now desperately trying to process multiple streams of audio and visual data while retaining absolutely none of it. You are experiencing the maximum amount of stimulation legally possible without requiring a prescription. You are essentially doing permanent damage to your prefrontal cortex and calling it relaxing. It is now past midnight. Your eyes are physically burning. Your posture resembles a heavily boiled shrimp. Going to sleep right now would give your brain a few hours to recover a fraction of its baseline function. We cannot allow that to happen. You must engage in revenge bedtime procrastination. Because you spent your entire day fulfilling obligations for your boss and answering emails, you will now try to reclaim a false sense of freedom by refusing to rest. Stay awake in the dark. Scroll through an endless feed of strangers doing viral dances. Watch a tutorial on how to build an off-grid cabin in the woods, even though you get winded walking up 2 flights of stairs to your apartment. Continue doing this until your phone physically slips from your weakened grip and hits you directly in the bridge of the nose. Weeks will pass with this exact routine and nothing dramatic will explode. Your life will not fall apart overnight. That is exactly why this route is so dangerously effective. It relies entirely on microscopic choices stacking up quietly in the background over time. The morning scroll, the bathroom podcast, the tab roulette, the fast food, and the dopamine stacking all compounds silently. Then one day, you will sit down to accomplish a deeply meaningful personal goal. You will decide to finally write that script, start that business, or even just watch a movie without looking at your phone. And you will realize your attention span is completely gone. You will not be able to focus on a single productive thought for more than 30 seconds before your brain starts screaming for a distraction. You will look at your old hobbies, and they will seem entirely pointless because they do not offer an immediate flashing reward. You will have zero drive, zero passion, and the focus of a concussed goldfish. You will have successfully become a background character in your own life. The best part is, it will not even feel like you purposefully sabotaged your own potential. It will just feel like a normal Tuesday. Anyway, that's the guide. If this video made you uncomfortable, that means your receptors aren't entirely dead yet. I highly recommend staring at a blank wall for 10 minutes to process that discomfort. But why stop at just mental decay when physical ruin is so easily achievable? Click right here to learn how to speedrun obesity and finish the job.